Alright, so we gotta talk about that new Dexter episode.
Stay calm my ass. Yeah, I'm telling you, I saw Freebo again. No, man, I'm not coming in.
Now, episode 4 itself was wild, and the cliffhanger was like even crazier. I'm planning on making a video on that, but I quickly want to make a video on episode 5. I have a video already made for episode 4. However, it's starting to turn into more of an Angel Batista type of video. I don't want to spoil too much. That's going to be coming down the pipeline sometime this week. If you guys haven't watched my previous video, I made a breakdown on the past 3 episodes, and now I'm gonna break down the 5th episode for y'all because this episode honestly might be my favorite. Like, every episode keeps getting better. So episode 4 ends off with a crazy cliffhanger. Harrison is about to go to the police station and admit to killing Ryan Foster before Dexter finally reveals himself to him. Dexter has a sit down with Harrison. Harrison's kind of, reluctant. He thought he just killed his dad. Now he shows up. He wants to be buddy with him. Plus, in episode 4, Angel kind of pressed him and revealed some pretty dark things in Dexter's past. He reveals that he actually talked to Batista as well. And honestly, Harrison really separates himself from his father, Dexter. He explains that he isn't like his father. He doesn't have a dark passenger. He doesn't have urges to kill. Something just came over him, and he honestly blames him for killing Ryan Foster.
Cute.
Ryan Foster still haunts him, and he haunts him to the point where he has to give the watch of Ryan Foster to Dexter. After giving the watch, Harrison basically realizes, I want nothing to do with you, and storms out of the room. We then cut to Leon Prader, who somehow landed an interview with the old hag at 60 Minutes. I guess because Paramount somehow is connected to 60 Minutes. Anyway, anyone on 60 Minutes is an important person, so this establishes that Leon Prader is a pretty important person. He even talks about having celebrities at his gala, so maybe we're gonna get The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
It's time for India versus Pakistan.
Maybe Zac Efron. I don't know why I'm naming Zac Efron. I don't know, it's kind of random. I don't know why that popped in my head. Just trying to name like random celebrities that could show up. I don't think Zac Efron's gonna show up. Anyway, we then cut to Harrison. He gets a call from the NYPD, basically because he's an idiot. Last episode, he was about to call the NYPD and snitch on himself. So basically, they trace the call and they call him back. It's none other than Detective Wallace. She's basically pressing Harrison, why did you call? And his excuse for it is, well, honestly, he really doesn't have an excuse. Like, he starts fumbling and he's like, oh, I'm at work right now, I'm kind of busy, I can't talk. So she's like, oh, I'll come to you then. And she even starts using the knowledge of her knowing that he lives at the apartment building against him. So basically he's like, fuck, I gotta come down to the police station and talk this over. We then cut to Dexter. He's cruising throughout New York. He hops on the phone with Lady Vengeance. Now, if you watch episode 4, he basically fumbled a bag like heavy last episode. Like, this girl deadass hopped in the shower, invited him to come in. Motherfucker just left. Honestly, at first, I really had no idea what to make of this relationship. Like, I know Dexter's trying to get with her, because, she might have a code too. Like, she kills predators. At least that's what she appears like as the episode goes on. We discover, spoiler alert, we discover that she actually doesn't just kill predators. And honestly, as I was watching this, I really believe she had a code as well. And, Dexter kind of sold the bag, not, trying to get closer with her. But damn, I was wrong. Dexter even played me, bro. Not only did he play this girl, he also played me, bro. I had no idea as I was watching this the 100 IQ plays that Dexter was about to make. Anyway, Dexter's feeling pretty lonely. He needs some connection. So basically, he calls Lady Vengeance back. Lady Vengeance is like, I thought you wouldn't call back because of yesterday. But basically, he invites her out to basically a date. And she's like, nah, I don't want to see some ballerina bullshit. So Dexter's like, I bet. He takes that motherfucker to go bowling. I really like this scene. Dexter's obviously crazy good at bowling because, he had to go bowling with his coworkers at Miami Metro when he worked there back in Miami. It's just a little reference to how he was kind of forced to play bowling all the time because he had to with his coworkers. I just found it funny and I like this scene a lot. He opens up with Lady Vengeance and Lady Vengeance opens up with him. Now, the synopsis of this scene is basically Lady Vengeance opens up to Dexter and explains how she's pushed away her family because of her, serial killer deeds. And that Dexter should as well. She kind of hints at it. And, this is really hitting Dexter, especially because, Harrison kind of just dropped him after trying to reunite with him. And speaking of Harrison, we cut to Harrison being interrogated by our friend Detective Wallace, the greatest detective in the world. She figured out the little trash bag thing. And you know, Harrison's decision making up to this point really hasn't been too great, and his decision making again isn't too great as well. His excuse is, well, you know, I wanted a call to get the number of the victim. Like, that's dead ass, like what a suspect would do. And you know, obviously I'm not Harrison Morgan, but like, the reason why I'm really expressing this is because the scene, Harrison really, you know, you can just tell bro looks guilty. Like, I don't know. Even in the interrogation before, when he kind of saved himself with the, oh, well, like, sleep at the apartment, that's why I was here, and I never left the cameras. Like, that was dead ass like a clutch moment. He looks so guilty in that scene. I don't know how the fuck he was about to get out of this. And obviously, you know, he gets out of this interrogation scene fine. But like, if we remember in episode 4, Angel Batista, you know, he already showed up to Detective Wallace and basically asked about the Ryan Foster murders. And like, who knows what kind of intelligence, you know, about Dexter Morgan he may have gave to Detective Wallace. Like, we have no idea. Anyway, Harrison starts to fold in this interrogation. You know, he finds out he's still a suspect and he immediately storms out. Like, bro's even crying. Like, you can't get any more guilty than this. If y'all watched my previous video, I was glazing Harrison a lot. And, you know, this doesn't ruin the character for him at all. Like, you know, this is just one scene. Like, we have many episodes and apparently many seasons for this character to grow. Unless he just dies somehow. Let's hope he doesn't die. I love Harrison. He's a really good character. Anyway, we then cut to Leon Prader. He's on the 60 Minutes interview, and she's pressing him about some questions about his support for the police station, or rather the police foundation or whatever. Why he donates so much money to the NYPD. He explains that his backstory, you know, when he was a kid, his parents were killed in a drunk driving accident, and the police saved him. You know, he starts to almost cry during the interview, so obviously this means a lot to him. I don't know if he's telling the truth here, or this is some kind of lie. Like, I don't trust this motherfucker at all. I'm planning on making a video about this motherfucker as more episodes come out, as we get more information, because I don't want to jump the gun on this guy, make a whole dedicated breakdown of him, and then be completely wrong. Like, I want these videos to age well. Paramount kind of fucked me with my last video. If you haven't seen my last video, about 9 to 10 minutes were cut out because of quote-unquote copyright, when I've seen many other Dexter content creators use the same clips as me, yet their videos are still up, they're still monetized, and they're still fine, and no minutes are cut out whatsoever. The video is still watchable. It's just a shame, you know, 9 to 10 minutes were cut out. There's a bunch of jump cuts of me talking on a subject, and I, you know, talk about another subject randomly. And also, I called Brian Moser the ice cream truck killer. I just want to say I made a severe and continuous lapse of my judgment. I do not expect to be forgiven. I am only here to apologize. Anyway, yeah, I really fuck with this Leon Prader scene. We get a lot of history and depth about this character. Apparently, this guy is a billionaire and an orphan. It's like Bruce Wayne, but like, you know, a little person. Apparently, I said the M word in my last video. I don't know if that was cut out because of the fucking copyright, but apparently I said that in the last video. I saw a comment about it. I did chuckle a little bit when I saw the comment because I was like, that's a slur? Apparently the M word is a slur. I didn't know. So I apologize. Anyway, she asked one last question, you know, how did you become this rich and influential? And you know, right as Leon Prader is about to answer, we then cut to Dexter and Lady Vengeance leaving the bowling alley. You know, I thought that was pretty dumb. I wish we got an answer to that question, but I guess they want to leave his background, you know, kind of ambiguous still. Anyway, Lady Vengeance invites Dexter to, you know, a 2v1 basically. Or a 2-man for, you know, people who know ball. And she wants to do it Dexter's way, via the, you know, Uber car or whatever it's called. So Dexter's thinking about this little invitation he received from Lady Vengeance. He's game planning with his father. And his father basically expresses to him, you know, this hasn't worked in the past. Miguel Prado, Lumen. You know, Dexter's argument is like, oh, well, you know, they weren't serial killers necessarily, like they weren't natural born killers. And plus, she might have a code, or rather Dexter thinks she has a code at this point. Now, one thing I'm really loving throughout this series is all the callbacks and references to things that have impacted Dexter's life before. And like, it really feels like a love letter to like the fans that have been watching the show since the inception of the show. Now, I just wanted to also touch on this. Dexter orders, you know, a new case for his blood slides, because obviously in the last episode he killed Lau and he got his first slide in New York. So he buys a little case for it, but it doesn't even fit. I really like this, you know, it's a little callback to his old case. Anyway, he goes out on the date with Lady Vengeance. And this is when the episode started having me on the edge of my seat, similar to like old Dexter episodes. That's why I'm saying like every episode just keeps getting better. Like, it still has me entertained and hooked. So basically, a little synopsis. The date's going pretty well. They start, you know, telling each other's backstories. Dexter starts opening up more. And Dexter's about to tell Lady Vengeance that he's actually the Bay Harbor Butcher and not Red. Right when he's about to say this, she starts opening up and explains that I don't just kill predators. I just like killing.
Children, animals, old people, doesn't matter. I just love killing.
And bro, Dexter's reaction to this shit had me dying, bro. I was dying laughing. He starts chuckling, like trying to play it off. But this motherfucker's like, oh shit. So she's like, alright, let's go outside and go kill someone your way. And, you know, Dexter starts making excuses and he's like, I can't do it with someone else. I can't let you into my process, as an excuse to, you know, get out. So she's like, oh, you don't want to do it with me? Bet. I knew you were a tease. I'll just go do it myself. So Dexter, I guess, like utilized his speed force, you know, as she's about to go hunt some new guy down. He runs over to her apartment, places some cleaning supplies. And I'm like, why is this motherfucker putting cleaning supplies in someone's house? Like, number one, she probably does already have cleaning supplies in the house. I guess he's being nice. But then he also places Ryan Foster's watch in there. And I was like, oh, okay, so I kind of see where he's going, I guess. Like, he's planting a murder object there, like. But then he opens up the blinds to like reveal a little rooftop area. And I'm like, what the hell is this motherfucker Dexter about to do? Like, what is this motherfucker scheming? And then after the scene, we cut to Lady Vengeance. She's bringing back some guy to her house. And you know, she's about to kill this guy. But because the blinds are open, you know, obviously Dexter on top of the rooftop is watching this whole thing go down. He calls the police, which I was not expecting this at all. Deadass sounds just like the, I saw Freebo again. Like, it's so funny. But basically, Dexter pretends to be like a neighbor and says, oh, Lady Vengeance is about to kill some guy. And fucking the police just come in. They arrest Lady Vengeance. They free the guy. And they find the cleaning supplies that was used at the Hotel Empire. And also Ryan Foster's watch, placing the blame on Lady Vengeance. So Dexter killed basically like 2 to 3 birds with one stone. Not only did he, you know, save an innocent life, also wipe out someone from, you know, Leon Prader's, you know, group of serial killers. But he also cleared Harrison from being a suspect, because now, of course, the blame is placed on Lady Vengeance. Now, this is Dexter. Dexter making 100 IQ plays in scenarios where he should not be the one winning, like, at all. And now he's also cooler with Harrison, because, of course, you know, Harrison's going to respect his father for, you know, clearing his name of being a suspect. And also, like, Dexter really has a sit down with Harrison. Like, he explains that Dexter, you know, doesn't want him to be like him at all. He explains, you know, how he basically was in fault for his mother's death, Rita's death.
I imagined her naked plenty of times, but never like this.
And he basically apologizes to him and says, like, you know, I'm sorry, but, you know, I want you in my life. And overall, like, all of this, like, didn't feel cheap at all. Like, I had no idea how Harrison, you know, was about to get out of this situation, especially when Angel Batista now knows that, you know, Harrison is a suspect for the Ryan Foster murders, you know, the same city where Dexter Morgan is in. And, you know, seeing Angel's reaction to, you know, the Ryan Foster murderer being found, which is actually Lady Vengeance, when he knows that it's actually Harrison Morgan, or rather Harrison or Dexter Morgan is somehow, like, connected to this murder. And I'm very curious how they're going to handle Angel in this whole situation in the next episode. Because, again, we already know Angel's been in contact with the NYPD. He even has a little picture of Dexter in his apartment. And also we get a scene with Leon Prader finding out that Lady Vengeance is in jail. He tells Charlie to go deal with that. Charlie goes down to visit the police station, and Lady Vengeance promises Charlie that she's not going to rat. And, you know, I have a feeling that Lady Vengeance is not going to survive too long in jail. She's just a loose end, which I'm sure that Leon Prader is going to deal with. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here because this video is getting pretty long. Like, I could yap about Dexter all day, especially this new series, Dexter Resurrection. I'm gonna give this episode about an 8 out of 10. It's really solid, and again, I said in the beginning, it might be my favorite episode to come out. Like, every episode keeps dethroning the last episode, especially because they set up the next episode so well. So, like, you want the questions to be answered in the next one. and like the new episodes deliver. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you enjoy this type of content, you know, liking, subscribing, commenting, whatever you feel like doing, it really helps. It not only motivates me to like make more content, but it also shows me that you guys enjoy this type of content. And also I try to upload Dexter videos and these type of videos in general around every week. So if you really want to stay up to date with Dexter news and this kind of Dexter content, and just like my kind of content in general, make sure you turn on those notifications so like you know the second I upload. And also like one last thing, I want to thank y'all for the support, like the overwhelming support I have received this past month. I've only uploaded 2 videos, and the amount of support and feedback and just overall sense of like pride in my content, because you know I spend a while making these videos, so to see like the support I receive for making them and people asking for more, you know, it just really puts a smile on my face. So yeah, thank you guys so much. And also a video for episode 6 is currently being made. Like I just watched the new 6th episode a little earlier ago, and I'm not gonna give my thoughts here because I'm planning it for the video, but holy shit, it's all I gotta say is it's not bad. Anyway, I'm gonna stop yapping before this video turns into fucking like 20 minutes. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.